All right, I'm live. Thursday night live chat. Um, so I had said for the month of April that I would be going live for chatting about reselling and thrifting every Tuesday and Thursday night for the month of April. Um, and April is coming to a close, but tonight's Thursday night, and I'm live. And the reason why I'm not acting quite awake is because I just woke up from a nap about 50 minutes ago. Hello. I just woke up from a nap. And I texted my husband. I was like, oh my goodness, I just woke up. So when he gets home, he'll probably be wondering why I'm looking a little groggy. I must have been really tired. So, hi, Vinny. Yeah, my kids said while I was sleeping they watched the whole movie. They watched Wreck-It Ralph. Hi, Mrs. Cotton Candy. Um, so yeah, that's why I'm kind of out of it. I didn't realize I slept for 2 hours. I was just supposed to take a nap for 20 minutes. Um, but I'm glad I didn't oversleep. I'm glad I didn't oversleep past 6 o'clock because you know, I know you guys will be here for the 6 o'clock. Oh, thank you. Yes, one of my thrifted finds from a while ago, and I wore this in Disneyland last time we were there. Hi, Nathaniel. Yeah, Nathaniel, I was just saying I just woke up from a 2 hour nap. My kids watched a movie. At least they don't bother me. At least my kids are old enough that they can just do their own thing. And I told them they were like, what do we do now? I'm like, just watch more TV. So they're watching a lot of TV right now. Oh, hi, Rainy Day Shopper is here. Amy's here. Yes, every Tuesday and Thursday night for the month of April. Oh, I'm in Washington. Washington State. Everyone asks Washington D.C. No, Washington State, and it is 6 o'clock p.m. here. I woke up from my nap, gave my kids dinner, and then said, they're like, what do we do now? Like, just watch more TV. So they're rotting their brains right now. How are you guys all doing? I know, Vinny, I'm probably gonna be up all night. I know. I didn't want to take a 2 hour nap. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be probably up till like 2 o'clock in the morning watching shows on my tablet. Um, I didn't really advertise. Oh, 9 p.m. there. That's late. I didn't really advertise about tonight's chit chat because I wanted to more focus on advertising for my next YouTube live sale. I was really nervous the first time, but I feel like I won't be so nervous the second time. So I asked my husband when his next day off is that he could help me. Oh, hi, Vision Vintage Company. I'm just saying your guys' hi, Teresa, your YouTube names so everyone can say hello to you guys. But my husband says he has Thursday night off, April 30th. So I'm going to have a YouTube live sale Thursday, April 30th at 5 p.m. Pacific. 5 p.m. Because my husband has that day off, so he can help me do the live sale, and then we're doing it earlier so people that are in the East Coast and Midwest can join in and don't have to stay up till like 10 o'clock at night or wherever you're at. Oh, thank you, Nathaniel. I feel like I did okay, but my internet's so slow that it was kind of like glitchy and stuff. And Tom, that's my husband, said that we can't really change that. He's like, where we live, that's the quickest internet we can get. I'm using my phone data right now. He says that might be quicker. So I might try to use my phone data for when I do the sale. Hopefully that will make it better. Will make the sale better. I don't know. See, I can't even talk because I just woke up. I have some questions written down in my notebook. I know that people seem to enjoy kind of the questions. No need to go at speed. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like the internet was glitchy. I don't know if it's glitchy now. Some of the sales I go to, their internet is oh, that sometimes the internet is so clear. Like on Alex's channel, it's very her picture is very clear. She must have really good internet. Mine just come out. But I'll try to move slower so people can see stuff on that sale. But yeah, guys, I have some questions. Some of these are kind of funky questions. Sometimes like these kind of thoughts run through my mind, and I don't know, maybe it's a little morbid, this first question. I'll start off with the morbid question. So it's about death. So we all know we're gonna die. We don't know when we're gonna die. Oh, speak English. Oh, okay. I guess I missed the sale. Our internet had been terrible. Hope I'll catch the next one. Yeah, speaking of internets, yeah, I'm going to have another sale, Laura. It's going to be Thursday, April 30th at 5 p.m. Pacific. Going to be a little bit earlier. Yeah, he said the phone data might be a little better. I'm using that now because my kids are on, they're using the internet for their show. So I don't know. Let me know if this seems a little bit better. We'll try it. There's not much I could do. I live out in the woods in the country, so it's hard. So the first question kind of has to do with death. Okay, so we're all thrifters, we're all resellers. A lot of us have pretty extensive collections that we know a lot about. Vintage Vinny has a very big collection of Coca-Cola memorabilia that's worth quite a bit of money and stuff. And so I wonder about this for myself. When you pass away, do your loved ones, either your close family members, your children, your significant other, know what your stuff is worth? And do you have a plan on what they're going to do with your valuable items? So the reason why I was thinking about this, oh, Siri, you want to come to America? The reason why I was thinking about this was because a lot of times you will see on shows like Antique Roadshow, and I haven't watched it for a long time, but a show I saw was an older gentleman, and he came in with this beautiful Native American blanket that he just like had over his couch. And he said he didn't have a lot of money. He was always struggling and stuff to support his family. And he found out that the couch was worth thousands and thousands of dollars. And a lot of times, and he didn't know, and he started crying that it was worth so much money. And he didn't realize how much money it was worth. And I wonder about that because I've heard other stories about family members throwing stuff away from their grandparents in the garbage, not realizing that it's worth money. Or I've been to estate sales where they're selling everything super cheap because they don't realize that it has value to it. And they're like, oh, this is our inheritance. It's like, this is your inheritance. You should probably learn how to sell on eBay and sell those items because it's worth money, and they're kind of throwing the money away. Oh, you ran to you through Google Translate. Okay. Honestly, some of the stuff I would sell before I die to help pay for after death expenses. Yes, but Vinny, but what if you die in a car accident like tomorrow? Have you told your family kind of like what your stuff is worth? So me and my husband joke about this because he says, oh, I'm going to throw all your stuff in the trash. I was like, well, I'm going to do that for your stuff. But I told him, I was like, if you throw all my valuable antiques away in the trash and complain about money, my ghost is going to come haunt you. But a lot of us, especially now at the corner, we're struggling with money and stuff. And so it's something to think about, that what do we have that we don't realize is worth money? So do you guys have a plan? Oh, so you put Nathaniel, that is actually a really good idea. So you put labels on some things that don't look like they have any value. That's a good idea. Like maybe you could put labels on something, or maybe you can have almost like a will, have something set aside that talks about all your items and what it's worth, what you think what they could get out of it, and set that aside and let someone know, your husband, your wife, your grown children, uh, hey, this is what it's worth. Don't just throw it out. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, I know. It's kind of a morbid subject right now. Oh, Vision and Vintage is here. Okay, so you let your son know that your stuff is worth money. Don't throw it away. Okay, my husband puts what he's bought the item for. I think I understand that answer. Okay, great. Great, Mashar. Um, so yeah, so I really don't have like a plan. Like I haven't told my husband exactly what everything's worth, but I did tell him that stuff is worth more than just like garbage prices. um, okay, so that leads. Yeah, exactly. So they know, so they know it's just not like worth zero. Um, but yeah, I always feel bad for people that don't realize what their stuff is worth, and then they just like toss it, and then they'll, like whatever years down the line, like, oh, I wish I had this money to pay for the bills. It's like, oh yeah, but you just threw away $1,000 worth of Christmas vintage or something. So yeah, that's true. Things go up and some things go down. Exactly. It's trends too. Yeah. It's kind of a weird thing to think about. I don't know. I think about my mind is always going. It seems like I have all these questions in my mind, and sometimes it's hard. I think too much. Anyways, that's leading on to my next question. So, have you ever tossed? Yeah, it's also what the person is willing to pay for an item. So you can say, "Oh, my stuff is worth, $500," but if someone's only going to pay 50, it's worth 50. Oh my goodness. Oh, see? Vision and Vintage. I just picked up a bunch of stuff curbside that was being given away. Old fellow passed away. Yeah, so the family probably had no idea what their stuff was worth. A lot of people don't sell on eBay or Etsy or Poshmark, and they don't know what to do, so they just give it away. Okay, so my second question is, have you ever tossed a part of an antique you thought was useless, like a part of an antique, only to find out it made the item more valuable? So an example of this on the show Pawn Stars, where people bring stuff into the Nevada pawn store, this lady had this item. I thought it was like a gun or something, like a vintage gun, and she had thrown away a part of it. It might have been the holster or something. I don't know. And it was damaged, and so she thought it was worth nothing. So she threw that part away. And what they told her, they evaluated it, and what they told her was the item, I can't remember if it was a gun or not, was worth hundreds of dollars if she had this other piece. And she looked so disappointed. She's like, oh my God, I threw that piece away months ago thinking it was so damaged, wasn't worth anything. And they said without that piece to the antique, her item was worth nothing. It was not valuable, like maybe a few dollars, not valuable without the other piece. So if you guys ever bought something and thrown away the piece that made the item worth money, like even some items that have like special packaging and stuff make the item more valuable. So have you ever thought, oh, the packaging is so damaged and thrown it away, and then look back at it and be like, oh crap, I should have kept the packaging. That's what made the item valuable. Picking haul, yeah. Vision Vintage, you should. So Vinny or Tina or Nathaniel, a small flag top from a bottle of vintage brandy would have made it worth twice as much if brandy was nicer. Oh, she didn't know. She just see even those little things can make the item valuable. And if you don't realize, I can't remember anything specific for myself. I know I've probably thrown away stuff before. A lot of times, like packaging or something that goes like accidentally, like a salt and pepper shaker, and the one breaks. Well, obviously, no one wants one salt and pepper shaker. Oh, he. LOL, he. The brandy was nice though. So maybe you guys are too smart and you haven't thrown away any pieces of item. Yeah, see, I just remember from that show that lady saying, "Oh, I tossed the one part," and I always think about, oh gosh, there must be a lot of people out there that probably see part of an item that's maybe damaged or worn because it's so old, and they just toss it out and don't even realize. And a lot of times, collectors want the full set, no matter how damaged it is, cracked, ripped, torn. So it's a good thing to remember in the future when you get antiques. I was in braids and took them all out, so now her hair is a mess, so it's probably not worth much now. Ah, yeah, that's a hard one. With the Cabbage Patch dolls, some people want the original hairstyles, or if it was like brand new in the box. I know if you take it out of the box and throw the box away, it would probably be worth less because people like the original packaging. Sometimes people just love how it looked when it was sold new. So I haven't, my questions jump all over the place. I have other questions that have nothing to do with that second question. Um, okay, well, I guess I could just jump around. I gave away a lot of Pyrex about 5 years ago. I loved it, but I didn't know there were collectors. You know, the Pyrex. Oh, you got one at 4. I still have her. I remember Cabbage Patch dolls. I got one when I was around that age, too. That's true. Craft project. Pyrex. Yeah, you know, for a long time, I didn't realize people wanted Pyrex. I thought, ugh, Pyrex. And then the last 5 or 6 years, I kind of realized, like, oh, there's actually people that collect Pyrex, like certain patterns and stuff. And certain patterns are worth a lot of money, which I just learned like a year ago. Um, okay, so this leads to my next question. What's the one item you know is worth money but hate selling? What's the one item you know is worth money but hate reselling? Sorry, selling. Yeah, right? Who would have known Pyrex? Sorry, my cat. Who would have known Pyrex is worth anything? Yeah, not all of it. There's certain patterns. But sometimes people want to finish their collection of certain patterns, so that's sometimes desirable too. So the one thing that I hate reselling that I know is worth money is tools. Tools, tools, tools. Anything fragile, yeah. Yeah, and anything like super fragile that could break within a second. Not a reseller, just a hoarder. Okay, Nathaniel, what is one thing that you know is valuable but you don't hoard, that you don't collect? Vintage vintage makeup containers. Those could be worth a lot of money. Clothes I hate selling clothes. Did I mention I hate selling clothes? Vinny, I don't mind selling clothes. No toys. Oh my gosh, you guys. I sell clothes and I sell toys. That's so funny. No toys and no clothes. Nothing. Nathaniel gets everything. He hoards everything. No clothes. Oh, no clothes and no toys. See, I like reselling toys, but not necessarily toys on. I sell them on eBay, but I like selling them at the big kids consignment sales. Okay, here's another quick question. Would you rather own an antique mall or run estate sales? Yeah, that's the hard part with clothing. You have to like measure it and stuff. It kind of takes more work. Wash it, dry it, measure it, lay it out, different positions. It's a little harder to prepare to sell. Would you rather own an antique mall or run estate sales? That's a tough question for me because my uncle used to run estate sales, and oh my gosh, there's so much drama with those estate sales. It's crazy. It gets really chaotic. And with antique malls are fun, but there's also theft, which I would not want to deal with. But I would probably say an antique mall. Yeah, online is a big no-no. Okay, antique mall, antique mall. Yeah, I would say antique mall. The estate sales, I don't know. Like I said, my uncle did that for a living for a while, and I volunteered to help at one estate sale, and oh my God. It was just crazy. My grandma and him were moving out of the house, and they're selling everything, and these dealers were aggressive, and there's people that want to lowball on offers, and one person left for lunch and to run errands for 2 hours, did not leave a deposit, didn't pay, and came back, and we were like, we sold a lot of your stuff because you didn't come back for several hours. Yeah, running estate sales is crazy. Yes, very emotional and hard. Yeah, and then the owners, a lot of times they won't want to sell so much stuff, or they're crying because they have to sell stuff because they're moving into like an apartment or something. Yeah, I'd rather own an antique mall, even having to deal with the theft and stuff. Okay, so God, jumping around my questions, not in order. What two styles do you like to mix? And this is for clothing or home decor or anything that you collect. What two style? Well, yeah, I guess it'd be clothing or home decor. What two styles do you like to mix? Oh, they're not so popular in Canada. Oh, okay. Estate sales are big here. There's a lot of companies that run them professionally. That actually seems to be the trend nowadays, is just to have professionally run estate sales other than the families doing it. I tend to see that more here in Washington. So the two styles, what do you like to mix? The two styles that I like to mix are Bohemian mixed with cabin feel natural with a little Victorian. If that makes any sense. Nathaniel says antique furniture and modern art. Oh, okay. So what era of antique furniture do you like, Nathaniel? Both vintage and non-vintage. Oh, so Vinny mixes it up. I do too. Like I'll have like a vintage little frame, and then I'll have like a newer little kind of like a bird statue or something that kind of accents it. But I don't really have a great decorating style. Shabby farmhouse. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Kind of the shabby chic, but the farmhouse look too. Oh, English, Georgian, and Victorian furniture. Awesome. That would be fun to mix with the modern art. Two different eras. That would be interesting to see. Natural history. Yeah, I've seen your show, Natural History Museum and Library. All right. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that look because I've watched your YouTube videos. I like beachy and mid-century. That's my bedroom theme. Ooh, that's fun. Gosh, we all have completely different styles. That's really cool. So all of us here have just completely different styles that we mix and stuff. Laura Simpson, are you into Ray Dunn? Oh yeah, Ray Dunn. I got one Ray Dunn cup listed on eBay. I'm not a fan of Ray Dunn, but it's a pretty cool cup. It says Wander on it. Oh, she says no. In the Northwest here, shabby chic is kind of in style. A lot of the families love shabby chic. Um, okay, so I don't know if this is a girl thing or not. I was just gonna ask this. This kind of ties into the one thing that you hate reselling or collecting. So if you were to start, so like I know toys, I know clothes. I like to collect jewelry, vintage, stuff like that, collectibles. But my question is, if you were to start learning about a new resale item to resell, would you rather research fishing equipment, tools, or electronics? And this might be geared more towards the girls because I know a lot of guys kind of, go towards more of those things. Guy stuff. Oh, farmhouse. Oh, Junker Necker's here. Tools. So she said tools. Fishing. Oh, tools. I guess. Oh, okay. When I say farmhouse, I mean real farmhouse. I'm a retired beef farmer. Manure on the kitchen floor. Oh, haha, Laura. I kind of know what you mean by the real farmhouse look. Yeah. Tools, I guess. Fishing. Okay. So no electronics. Tools, fishing. I'm gonna say tools. I feel like that would be the easiest thing for me to research. Vintage medical tools. Teresa, hi, it says fishing. Vintage Minnie said jewelry, maybe. Vintage medical tools. Oh, that would be interesting. I'd be interested in that. Um, but I know, like when I go in the garage of an estate sale, I just get overwhelmed. Like there'll be fishing equipment, tools, electronics kind of spread out, and I'm just like, oh god. So I guess I would pick tools because I guess I could. You don't have to see if it works with electronics, and the fishing stuff. I don't know if it's good condition or not. And tools, you got to just know more like name brands. Yeah, a lot. I know a lot of people will collect older tools and stuff for like decorating and stuff, and that could go along with the farmhouse look, old farming tools and stuff, the rusty farming tools. That's a big hit where I live out in the country. A lot of people collect that. Yeah, you can pick up some really old clothes, especially like a 50% off days at estate sales, like things that get passed up on. I really should research something out of my comfort zone just so I can, make extra money. Like having the YouTube sale, that was out of my comfort zone and I made money, so that's good. Oh my god, I just dribbled. That's the bad part about being live. I don't know how to drink water. Yeah, certain areas are really big on older tools or older farming equipment, older kind of stuff like that. The rust, like older little old baskets and things like that. That's big here, area I live. I still don't really pick it up that much because I don't know much about it, but probably should learn. Um, okay. Oh, now I just have some silly questions. Oh, Bolo. Oh God, I forgot. Vinny, what's Bolo mean again? Nathaniel wants to know. I'm having a brain fart. Bye. I forget. I forgot what bola means. Well, be on the lookout. Oh, that's, yeah. I like rust stuff, but I didn't know how to say it. Oh, okay, yeah, rusty. Yeah, rusty, worn stuff. I don't know if there's a certain word for it. Um, okay, these are just kind of quick, random questions. So, um, I I don't have a large collection, but I have some fun vintage magazines. I'm actually going to sell one in my next sale. So when you guys get a vintage magazine, maybe from 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, any era, do you guys ever cut them up to make art, or do you feel like you should keep them together, that they're worth more money in the future, or do you like to read them? I always feel like I would have fun cutting up a vintage magazine to make some kind of art and stuff, but then I think I'll feel bad if I cut it up because it's something that lasted 50 years, and then here I'm cutting it up to make, maybe an art piece or a junk journal or something. So do you guys ever buy? Never cut up. Teresa said, well, I haven't yet, but I've always had this urge to cut them up to make art pieces. But I don't know if that is a good thing or a bad thing. Like, I know people make like junk journals and stuff. I've never made one. And people will make certain kind of art pieces that they put on their wall and stuff. Yeah, exactly. You've bought you've bought some for crafting but never done it. Me too. I've bought magazines thinking, oh, I could, cut up like the advertisements and stuff and make art, and I've never gotten around to it. So in really bad shape and was going to be tossed. I saved and crafted it. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Most of the magazines I have are kind of rough, but they're still readable. I photocopy. Okay, that's actually a really good idea. That way you can keep the integrity of the magazine or the catalog. Oh, wow. Okay, so Nathaniel says if the cover is good, I'll put the whole thing in a frame. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't even think about that. But I always think I see like cool, like the advertisements back in like the 40s and 50s were just so, I don't know, so cool and unique. I'm like, oh man, I could cut this up and make it look really cool in a frame. Oh, sewing patterns. Yeah, I actually got a whole bunch of sewing patterns from the 50s and 60s that I'm gonna actually be selling because I bought them thinking I would craft with them, and I'm just not ever gonna do it. But the pictures on the front are awesome, and then the patterns inside are still in good condition. So that's funny that you mentioned patterns, sewing patterns, or sometimes just even the catalogs for certain things, like the little catalogs, not the big like Sears catalogs and stuff. How cool pictures. Um, so here's another funny question, and we were talking about this. We were talking about this 2 days ago. Oh, I have a Playboy I put it in a floating frame. The image is awesome for winter. Oh, nice. 19 Playboy 1955. That's awesome. 50s were a funky time. They had some fun stuff. Um, okay, if you had to choose a material to wear all week, would you choose thick corduroy or thick polyester? So remember these materials were big back in the day, and it was either thick polyester or thick corduroy. So think about it. What would you want to wear all week long if you didn't have any other choice? You had two outfits and you had to wear it all week. Corduroy or polyester? Not like thin polyester, but thick polyester. Nesting Haven, hi, says corduroy. Mrs. Cotton Candy says corduroy. Oh my gosh, yeah, polyester is so itchy. Thick corduroy though can be like that can be really heavy. Corduroy. See, I thought some people were going to say polyester because some of the outfits were cool, but, and I'll have to agree with a lot of you, I'll say corduroy. So I'm killing me for seeing. Nathaniel, if you didn't have a choice, man. Oh, Junkernecker said polyester. Oh, Teresa said polyester. Oh, now it's split. Vision and Vintage says corduroy. That's so funny. And here's the thing. Back in the 1990s, I think 95, 1996, I was 18 and 19 years old, and I wore corduroy pants. Yes, and they were men's corduroy pants, and I kept them up with a black belt, and I have pictures. It was horrible. I look back on it now, and I'm like, oh my God. And the color was brown. Brown men's thick corduroy baggy pants that I wore with a belt, and I thought I looked good. And then I'd wear a tight shirt tucked in, or like I'd wear like a kind of like a hippie-ish bohemian kind of shirt with it. I thought I looked good. I looked horrible. But yeah, I wore big thick corduroy. It was awful. I look back at the pictures. I'm like, what was I thinking? I know the pictures I have of me in them. I might have in my garage, or my mom has the pictures. There's just a few, but oh my gosh, I should totally show those pictures. Yeah, well, the corduroy I wore was baggy, so when I would walk, it would have that like that swish sound. It was like you could hear me coming, a block away. You know that sound when they rub together. Awful. So, okay, here's another question. What do you guys call fake leather? Like, you should. What do you call fake leather? So back in my day, and I still call it now, we called it pleather with a P, pleather. But now I'm seeing on platforms that are calling it vegan leather. I'm just like, yeah, it's not leather, it's like plastic. So what do you guys call fake leather? I call it faux leather. I call it pleather, but now I'm seeing people call it vegan leather, or I don't know what other terms there are. Faux leather or pleather. Faux. Okay. Have you guys heard of people calling it vegan leather? That's like a thing now that people are saying. Vegan leather. I'm like, yeah, it's not leather. It's not. Just looks like it. I always think that's I don't know. New terms are coming up. It makes me feel old. No. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my questions. There's a long pause. Okay, so I'm skipping around. Vegan leather, very hipster. Yeah, I know, right? The hipsters are like, that's vegan. I don't kill any animals. I'm not a vegetarian. I used to be, but when I was a vegetarian, I also wore leather stuff because I love leather purses. I can't have pleather purses anymore. I used to. And I love leather boots. So it was kind of, I'm not vegetarian anymore, but so switching around, my questions are jumping all over the place. So obviously no one's going to garage sales right now, but when you guys go to garage sales, do you guys ever buy homemade items? So not cooked items, not like baked items, but do you guys ever buy items that people like people would make jewelry, or they'll make like little pottery pieces? Do you guys ever buy homemade items at garage sales? I'll tell you my answer first. For me personally, I never do because I have this mindset that I want to pay very little and I'm looking for used, unique items. And I feel bad because I know that some people are trying to make a little extra money on the side by their crafts, but I never do. John Connector says no. Teresa says yes. Nathaniel says, I guess if it looks cool, sure. Okay. like I'll buy crafted items like at a crafted fair, but when I go to a garage sale, I'm in a different mindset. It depends on what it is and how much it is. Okay, doilies and stuff. Oh, so if they made the doilies and stuff, okay. I was thinking of a specific garage sale I went to, and the older lady had made some beautiful necklaces, and she was charging I think $10 to $12 each, which was a really good deal. But in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I'm just interested in finding jewelry for $1 each. I was just in a different mindset, so I don't usually buy crafted items that are priced okay, but I'm just in a different mindset. Um, so okay, if it's a kiddo, yeah, if it's a kiddo selling it, I bought paintings and Afghans, cool cross stitch and things. Oh, that's cool. The only time I've bought something a kid made, I think it was like a card or something like that, and it was like 50 cents. So I was like, okay. But usually, I haven't been to garage sales where kids have made too much stuff. I don't know, maybe my area it's not a thing. I don't know. Teresa says, no, I'm cheap. I know. And I feel bad. I will buy drinks or baked goods sometimes, but that's a totally different thing. Um, so I live in Washington, Northwest. So we're kind of known for like recycled and, well, I'm going to say we're kind of hippies up in the Northwest here. So we have recycled craft fairs in downtown Vancouver and stuff, and they have a recycled fair every year. Oh, he can't walk past a lemonade stand. That's funny. So do you guys have craft fairs, recycled fairs where you live? Craft fairs. The recycled fair we have in the area I live in is everything is recycled into crafts like garden sculptures or jewelry or kind of upcycled or purses, shirts, everything. And we have it every year. It's called it might just be called recycled fair. But do you guys have that kind of stuff where you live? Recycled. If you call it recycled fair or upcycled fair. It's not necessarily a farmer's market. It's specifically for people upcycling things that you would just throw in the trash. Like example, this one booth, they took broken any kind of china or teacups and stuff, and they made it into jewelry. And she sold jewelry made out of broken china. And another person made, you've probably seen this other places or on TV, made metal sculptures for the front of your well, whatever, on your property out of old tools and old metal spoons and whatever metal, and they put it all together and made sculptures. Okay. So you've seen certain spaces and places that have done that, but not a whole fair that does it. Oh, never heard of that. Sounds cool though. Okay. Maybe it's just unique here in Washington where I live. I think or Portland has something like that. I'm not sure. I don't venture over there too much. Yeah, if it looks cool, I think it's particularly clever, I'd buy it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, yeah, that's another thing I've seen at at the recycle fair is lawn flowers and ornaments that they make. And yet, some of these people are super talented. I actually have a YouTube video of me visiting the recycle fair last year on my YouTube channel. And it's amazing. I don't think I bought anything, but I liked looking at all of it. It was really fun. Um, oh, so we're living in a crazy time right now. We're all stuck at home for quarantine and stuff. Has anyone started crafting? Has anyone started a new hobby of crafting? I know some YouTube channels are starting to make junk journals. I know another channel that's selling a lot of jewelry that they've upcycled and such. Yeah, you gotta check it out because recycle fairs are fun. So you guys heard? I have all these ideas in my head, things I want to craft, and I just have not had the time. Like I've been wanting to make jewelry because I have all these beads and stuff, but every time I think I'm going to sit down and do it, I start watching TV. Nathaniel's completely craftless. He's completely craftless. That's funny. No crafts for you. I haven't been crafty either, Teresa. I have a craft room and Sally haven't crafted. I guess we're all pretty busy stuck at home, huh? I have 2 busy toddlers, no time for crafting. Oh yeah, I hear you. Oh my gosh. I've been trying to homeschool my kids and oh, that takes time. So every day I'm homeschooling them and then I'm trying to prepare for the YouTube live videos and the sale and try to sell on eBay. By the time, to sit down and craft, then I'm just like, I'd rather watch TV. So I hear it. You have toddlers. I have a 10 and 12-year-old, but there's still a lot of work. I thought it would get easier, and it hasn't. I don't know why. Okay, so since we're not crafting, are we watching more TV? So here's a question about TV shows. And these are like kind of like thrifting shows. So what show, if you guys have seen these shows, they've been around for a very long time. What show do you like better, Pawn Stars or Storage Wars? I have no excuse. My excuse is I'm lazy. Yeah, Teresa, it's hard to have the time to list. I haven't listed on eBay for a few days because I was busy trying to fill the orders for my YouTube live sale. So I put that on the back burner, and then I'm still trying to homeschool, so it's hard. So Pawn Stars, just to give you background, Pawn Stars is when people bring things into this Nevada pawn shop, and they talk about the item and they tell the person if they'd want to buy it from them or not and how much money they'd give it to them. It kind of tells a history about the item. And Storage Wars is storage auctions where different groups of people bid against each other and bid for storage units. Oh, hi, Fatbird Finds. Hey, I'm calling everybody by their channel names so everyone knows who I'm talking to. Storage Wars is the only one I've ever watched. Okay, Teresa, Pawn Stars, so many crazy people. Just love it, Nathaniel says. So me and my husband used to watch Pawn Stars. Like, we probably watched over 100 episodes. We used to watch it back to back. And then we kind of got burnt out on it. But we loved it. And then we started watching Storage Wars. Storage Wars California, Storage Wars New York, Storage Wars, there's another one. California, New York, Storage Wars Texas. And we watched all of those. But we've kind of stopped watching those right now. And like American Pickers, that's the other one too. I forgot to mention that one. Oh, hi. Oh, bye, Vision Vintage Company. Nice chatting. Hopefully I'll see you Tuesday. I'll be back chatting again Tuesday. But American Pickers, I've only seen maybe one episode of that. I kind of, I don't know. It was okay. But Storage Wars was probably my favorite, just because I liked seeing what they'd find in the unit and finding how much money they could make. But yeah, Pawn Stars was fun when I watched it. I liked all the characters that would come in. Like, there's some crazy people out there. So I'm kind of coming to a close. We've been on for almost an hour. This is kind of like my limit for the chatting. So I have a couple more questions. Okay, so what vintage word do you wish would come back in style? And it can be any word that people don't really say anymore that was big back in whatever time, just not now. The word that I miss that I see in old magazines and stuff from like the 30s, 40s, 50s is dandy. Oh, do you watch Antique Roadshow? I haven't watched Antique Roadshow in a very long time, like years. I'm not sure why. I don't know what my excuse is. So the word I wish would come back is dandy. I was looking at an old, not old magazine, an old greetings card, and one of the words that would pop up a lot back in the 50s was dandy. You sure are dandy, or you're dressed all dandy. So what word do you guys wish would come back in style? Oh, out of water. That's just dandy. Love it. I know. We need to start bringing that back. If you guys have a YouTube channel, you should start using the word dandy and bring it back in style. Wear a top hat and be like, that's just dandy. That was a big word back in the day. Other words are like, from like 60s groovy. There's groovy. Like groovy was like the 60s. Radical was like the 80s. Oh, scram. That's funny. Scram reminds me of actually scram. They would say that in the 50s. Police officers, say scram, or old time gangsters. I know it's kind of a. Sometimes you kind of have to look at old magazines or old shows to kind of get those back in your head. Keen. Oh, that's a good one. Teresa says, "Cool, dude." I still say cool, and once in a while I'll say dude. I call my husband dude. I'm like, "What's up, dude?" Yeah, I like the word keen. The only thing is, when I hear the word keen, I think of the shoe Keens, like the Keens shoes. So that gets me confused. Keen is awesome. Oh, that's a word I use all the time. Awesome. Like when I comment on people's YouTube channels or when I just talk to people, I use awesome all the time. I don't know why. It must be my favorite word to say when I compliment someone. That's awesome. Oh my God, that's so awesome. I say that. So my last and final question is, what word do you hate that is used a lot now to describe I love awesome, yeah. Well, I don't really know how to. I'll give you an example. The word I've heard, or a couple words. I know, isn't that funny how words change? Yeah, awesome means cool now. Uh, one word that I hate is when people say something is yummy, like not a food item, a clothing item, or like a beautiful vase. Like, oh, that's so yummy. Oh, I love this yummy dress, or honey hole. I Every time I hear the saying honey hole, like when they find their favorite antique mall or something, oh, this is my honey hole. I don't know why I hate hearing that. Yummy and a honey hole. I can't stand hearing those two sayings. I'm just like, ugh, that dress is not yummy, and the antique store is not not a honey hole. I don't know why I'm cracking up. Honey hole. Um, I hear. I'm not gonna say the channel that says honey hole a lot of the time, but every time they say it, I'm like, oh my God, stop saying honey hole. Oh, sick. Oh yeah, that's sick. That's like what the skaters used to say, Teresa. Death pile. Yeah. Um, 8 months ago, I didn't know what death pile meant, and people kept saying it. I'm like, what is death pile? And the YouTube channel person thought I was kidding. She's like, you don't know what death pile means? I'm like, no, I don't know what death. I'm like, what is death pile? What are you talking about? And it means stuff that that you haven't, that's just sitting there that you should sell, you haven't sold yet. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I use death pile now because that's like the in thing to say, but I used to never say it 8 months ago. If I ever hear the word, what is it? I can't read. Gusset, I laugh. Oh no, what does gusset mean? I can't remember what gusset means. Is it worse than yummy or honey hole? Gusset. Other other random words I hate are moist. I hate the word moist. Moist, honey hole. We don't like death pile. You know. Oh god, there's probably 100 words I hate. Moist. Like you go to the bins and like, ooh, this shirt just feels moist. Oh man. Part of an item of clothing. Oh, okay. Oh, I think I know what you mean. Maybe the death pile could be your honey hole. Use all the words I hate. My death pile is my honey. Oh, look, I'm going through my death pile, which is my honey hole. How many good honey holes in your area? Oh, gosh. Not that many. They're all going out of business. Good one, Nicole. Lord, I was thinking moist too. Didn't want to say it. Yeah, that's a horrible word. Ugh. You know, the thrift stores and stuff, I don't know. The good ones are going out of business. Like Salvation Army closed down. St. Vincent de Paul's, we don't have any of those. Value Villages, they went out of business. All we have is really is Goodwills, and then there's like the thrift store for the Humane Society, and then there's a couple antique malls that are good. You did, LL, you did to make a song, Mead. You need to make a song. Yeah, I do. Moist literally was the first word that came to mind when you asked. I can't type tonight. Oh, Miss Scott Katie can't type tonight. Yes, I hate that word. Ugh, moist, gross. And if you're in the reselling business, you don't want to touch anything that's moist. Yeah, what's another, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what a good word is to replace honey hole. Like, I don't even know how to describe a good place to go shopping would be. I have no idea. But we've been talking for almost an hour, and it's not really getting late here. I'll probably be up till 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, Valley Village has I don't know, they've gone out of business. I've heard that they can't make any money, so they just shut down. What are you touching that's moist? Well, okay, I go to the Goodwill outlet store, and it's all as is stuff, and ugh. Some things that I touch are moist, and I don't know if it's from the rain or if it could be certain, like, urine or what it is. But sometimes you'll touch something, you're like, oh god, it's moist, or not soaking wet, but has a kind of a wettish feeling. But I do live in the Northwest where it rains a lot, so sometimes the donations will get rained on from outside. Hot spot. Oh no, I don't know. Hot spot. That makes me see. I don't know. That makes me think of gross stuff too. Hot spot. Honey hole, hot spot. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But I'm so glad that you guys, 8 people are here. A little less than a couple days ago because I didn't advertise this time. I don't know why. I was trying to advertise my sale more. But I will be here Tuesday to chit chat at 6 p.m. Pacific. And I always like to ask fun questions to see what people's answers are, to engage us all. So we can all talk about what we're missing, which is thrifting and reselling. I'm missing it hardcore. But yeah, I will try to think of more questions. And, guys, if I run out of questions, I usually don't. But if you guys want to ask a fun question for everyone else to answer, such as your, favorite word you wish to come back or your favorite whatever, thing to pick at the garage sales, definitely think of something, write it down, and you could type it in on Tuesday. Oh, I'll try to come up with a song. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, thumbs up. So yeah, I will see you guys Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, and we could all chit chat some more. And yeah, we'll have fun. All right, see you guys later. Good night. That's your funny, Teresa. Don't touch anything, boys. Okay, bye, guys.